Hey everybody, and welcome back for more scrapping shenanigans. Uh, with a much more cargo capable rover than last time, now that I've got this extra large container on here. Which, looking at it, have lined up those ports right, haven't I? Just had a moment of, oh gosh, there's the big port on this side, have I messed something up? I'm pretty confident I've got it right though. So, I think one of the things that I need to do for around this little base of mine is build something of a forklift at some stage. I'd like to try and get a vehicle to move things like the large grid batteries and stuff that I bring back, all those sorts of bits and pieces. See if I can have something that moves it around more easily, especially when I don't need to twist and manipulate things in weird ways. Have something that can move stuff around more easily so that I can rearrange things. Oh, those cockatoos are loud. Rearrange things like bringing some of the large blocks over here into the new, larger hangar space. Because obviously that's where I want to put more of my things. Hey, thank you so much, Ratfig. Thank you very much for the 10 gift subs. For 40 in total. They're excited to see me streaming. Yeah, Shadow. Also, thanks, Mr. Freehugs. But yeah, I do not have any forklifts to find in the world as yet. As I randomly walk around without really thinking about what I'm doing while I'm walking around. But I should have some of the bits needed for that. I guess after the experience of last time, I should probably think about putting more batteries onto the truck, though. Maybe doing that first. As that's kind of possibly important. Oh boy. Gotta love a late sunrise. The bird's just going ballistic. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I hope not. Yes. Toby and my other half are home now. They came home day before yesterday. We've had 2 nights at home now. And apparently last night was all kinds of horrible for my other half. So I will be doing everything I can to make today bearable enough that she can get some sleep. After this, of course. So just looking at this, trying to think about what to do. One of the things that I kind of find difficult with building rovers when you're doing this scrap stuff is I know I'm going to be adding more pieces later, or at least I think I am. So I kind of end up with this situation of not wanting to do much styling on it. But looking at this, I really do want to do some styling. Perhaps even changing it from a whole rust palette to something a bit more fresh. Oh yeah, I forgot to do the Discord message. Also, thanks, JC Gamer Enwy. Thanks for 33 months. And thanks, Mr. Steve, for 11 months. How's it going, Glebe? Let's just do a quick thing that's like a ping of some sort on the Discord. Oh my gosh, those birds! What the heck? Why are there so many going over top? I can't even hear the game over it with my headphones. Accidental delayed announcement. Okay. Done. Oh, okay. I think the birds may have gone for a little bit. Hopefully. Oh, that was awful. Right. So, where do I want to start today? I guess step 1 will be figure out where I want to put these batteries on this truck. So I definitely want a second battery at least. And I don't think I want to stick it on the trailer. I think I want it up on the truck as some extra mass. I've got this space down the side here, but I was thinking originally of using that for space for tanks, but I could put a whole... I don't really want to put anything behind this point, because that's where the hitch is sitting. This is tough. I'm not sure. Thanks, Redbeard. Thank you for 13 months. And thanks, Tinners, for 15 months. Battery. This is hard. I'm finding this really hard to figure out how I want this thing to look and how I'm going to make it look interesting. I guess what I could do is actually move those engines. The engines I put down made sense when I placed them, but I don't think they do now. Nope, more birds back. Thank you so much, Orsa, for the 10 gift subs as well. For 210. Madman, thank you very, very much. Thanks for the 100 bits, Lord Rictus. Alright, so let's just grind a few pieces off here that I don't need and see what I can do, because I want to make this truck have some style. I don't want it to just be like the Dongoose that never really got any particular style. It was just all a big mess. I want this one to have some style. So the first step of that is let's pick a boring paint job. And let's repaint it. Yes. And then we will repaint it something more interesting as we go along. This feels very out of place now. This feels very out of... I'm not happy with that. Let's make it feel less out of place. Boring paint job with dust. Yeah, that didn't help much. And no, I'm not going for purple weldless. I've got one thing with that. That's enough. Right. Let's get some steel plate and we'll start placing a few things down. I could possibly put engines along the side here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks between the cargo containers. I could put a pair of engines on each side of the cargo containers. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Puff. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Pair of engines between the cargo containers, slapped on sideways, so that I can just put a single junction piece on here, and that'll pipe them up. Then I can put a pair on the other side. Then I can put a battery in front of each one on each side, and that'll give me some nice symmetry. I might move around the programmable blocks a bit and rearrange the front end, because the front end's a bit of a mess. See if I can come up with a better bobblehead for the plushie, because that'd be nice too. Yeah, the birds are nuts. Unfortunately, since it's going to be daylight saving ending in a week, sunrise at the moment is like ridiculously late. Like literally now. The sun has just risen 15 minutes ago at 7 AM. So the birds are just going ballistic because it's sunrise. Didn't think that through with relation to streaming. Just had to do, well, this is my opportunity to stream, so I will use it. I will deal with the consequences. Yeah, the birds are solar powered. Exactly. I wonder if I can pick up one of these with the way I've nerfed the grabby hands thing. Have I got another engine somewhere else that I could move first? Engine over here? Doesn't look like it. Did I put an engine over in the other base? I put some stuff over there. Yeah, sorry, the birds are incredibly loud on my end. Thankfully, some of the noise appears to be being handled by NVIDIA Broadcast. But wow, were they loud on my end. Alright, I might have to go out and find some more engines. If I want to do this on the both on the same side. I mean, the same on both sides. Wow, brain. How full are you? You are empty, so I'm going to grind you down. I'm going to pop you off. And I'm going to see if I can drag you. Nope. I can't. Alright. I'm okay with that. That makes sense. Alright, let's use the crane then. Fine. Another thing I want to figure out for my crane is a way to get up to this control seat. That's easier. Oh, poop. Alright. We are going to get a camera because while this is hooked up to the base and recharging, I can't see because it puts me so far away. Where's going to be a good spot for a camera? I could put one on the side of this rotor here. Or I could put one back on this piston. Wait, could I put one on this rotor? Maybe that rotor would be better. I have let myself book cameras, haven't I? I'm pretty sure I have. Because I can't imagine trying to retrieve a camera from anything is ever going to work. Unable to place camera. Yes, yes, yes. Let's just move you out of the way. No! I don't think I'm going to be able to. Oh, yes, got it. Cool. Was just able to place it. Hey, Wasted. How's it going? Yes, I live, and I stream at a strange time of the week for me. This is very odd, but, you know, gotta do things when I can. When they fit. Oh, I put the camera upside down. Ugh. You would think I would know by now. Split's odd. Yes. No. Yes. Camera 2. VU. Alright. Cool. Oh, I'm glad I've remembered to put the camera panning mod on. Wow, this would be bad if I didn't. Let's go that way. No, that way. Yeah. I want to be able to pick this up on top so that then I can flip it sideways the way I need it to be. So if we go there, and we go, oh boy. Ready to lock. Okay. So this is an interesting perspective. I'm not sure how I feel about this perspective. Oh dear. Yeah, wasted. It is... I think part of the problem is the very wide field of view. I'm going to try and pop out of there, and I might just disconnect from the thing. So I can actually see, because that's unpleasant. Clearly I picked the wrong connector. Now we can zoom in enough. Ah, much better. Yeah, the persistent jiggle was not nice, was it? And that's with share inertia tensor on, so it shouldn't have been that bad. But, you know, these things always are. Let's see if I can manipulate this thing around. If we go like so. It comes. Nope. That's what I need to do. Spin it that way. Now we spin it around. Now I've got the two hinges to work together. Get it to the angle I want. Ish. Cool. That works. Then I can put a couple of merge blocks on and see if I can get this into position. I mean, this still isn't as vomit inducing as the thing I built when we did when like Shaq, Wasted, myself, Capac, Tex did the whole let's do a stream for the release of the economy and forget to actually do anything with the economy at all during that stream where I had the flippy thing on the back of the truck. Still not as bad as that. So if I go merge block there and merge block. Ooh. Oh yeah, actually I think this is a bit smarter one to do first. Just trying to think whether there was an easier one to do first here. Apparently something is very attractive in the crane because I walk backwards and then I slide forwards. Slidey, slidey. That is very strange. It's like moonwalking. Except forwards. How else can I get this? Go up. Kind of get close, but not really. This is where the limitation of my crane kind of becomes apparent. If I build a bit of a support thing near here, I might be able to let it go and then pick it up again and move it into place. Just don't want it rolling off. Alright, let's try letting it go there. Make a folding ramp for the crane platform. Ooh! Yeah. Something folding is definitely the way to go, I think. You're right. Oh, oh. Oh, promising. What happens if I move this out of the way? Ha! Excellent. Okay, we're good. So, should now just be able to pick this up from on top if I straighten up my wrist a bit. Ooh. Hello. I see a new thing in the distance. Where that 1.93 kilometer marker is. That is something we're going to have to go check out shortly. Because that was the new thing that I added in the stream in the middle of the week. Ladders are too big. That's why no ladder. Ladders are so big it would actually restrict my crane from moving the way I need it to move. So I can't use ladders to get up there. I looked at the size of it and was like, yeah, that doesn't work. Till. Block. Now I've got to go grind those blocks out now that I've locked it again. Yes, remember to park under the counterweight. What? Okay, apparently I was locked to the truck, not to the engine. Good. Good, good, good. Doing things safely as always. Okay. Let's do a cap hack and hope. Yes! It worked. Thanks, Lord of the Kirby. Thanks for the Prime sub. Oh, yeah, and again, thank you for all the congratulations messages, everybody. Thankfully, things are still going pretty well. What the? I was not expecting to find that in there. Are you full? You're empty. Let's get rid of you. And then I'm going to place it over here, which means I might this time go with a merge block on top and a merge block on top. Oh wait, no, I gotta grind this off first. And then... Ooh, don't like the way that's just jiggling. I think once I move this engine, I'm gonna... Oop. I'm gonna go check out that thing that I've spotted. Try and fiddle with this sort of stuff in a more piecemeal fashion. Just do little bits here and there. I find it gets a bit much spending this much time with a crane around a vehicle. I like cranes, I have fun with cranes, but wow, can you definitely spend too much time with them. Right. Let's see how close I can get this to where I need it to be. Ooh. Let's get some clearance. That was not looking good. It should do okay on a dedicated server. Maybe? I don't know. This mod is entirely tested in single player and offline so far, so maybe it'll do okay on a server. It'll depend on how you run the server, really. Being more sensible about how I answer the question. If you run the server with very aggressive management of things, as in very aggressive... very aggressive cleanup on voxels, stuff like that, it should go okay, I think. But it isn't super performance friendly having tons and tons of grids around the place. But unfortunately, there's kind of not much you can do if you're going to play Salvage. You kind of need lots of grids about the place. And yeah, for the supporter server, I'm going to be attempting this mod pack with the help of Nev at some point, hopefully soon, and seeing what we can manage to get working in regards to torch settings and things like that to make it functional and server friendly. But in theory it should be doable. The main challenge is going to be... Alright. It's like, why have I run out of power? Apparently, one of my batteries is not on recharge. Because a lot of the grids laying around won't be static grids. Like, look around my base, I've got all these little pieces and stuff like that, and those are going to have to be protected, at least for a while, so that you don't have to merge block everything right from the get-go. You missed the rust already. Yeah. I think I'll be going back to Rusty. Dusty just doesn't cut it. But yeah, I think there will be ways to make a server run, but I think it'll still potentially be the sort of thing that just brings Space Engineers to its knees, unfortunately. But I guess that's just multiplayer. Like, when a game has as much creative freedom as Space Engineers has, there are going to be people who build too much stuff, and then things stop working. So, in terms of timing of me releasing the mod pack, yeah, it should be soon. The main things I need to sort out is some fine-tuning, because as of the version I'm playing right now, I can find assemblers in the world. Thanks for the Prime sub, Tincho. Yeah, so that was one of the big things. I'm not going to have any space-based stuff ready at release. I'm fine with that. I can do that stuff another time. Spend some time with that in the future. But there are thrusters to be found. You can get yourself to space. And there's the basic assembler to find so you can reprocess some ammunition. So yeah, there are things that can be done. I think I'll continue with what I've done for that other part. Give this a nice extra layer of connectivity between front and back. So yeah, I was thinking about it yesterday. I'm like, yeah, I should be able to release this as it is. So my plan is to release it as a scenario where all the mods are all set up, all the save game settings are all done, so for those who want to just play it on their own or with a couple of friends in a local hosted game, it's all ready to go. But then also release each mod separately. As this is a collection of several mods. There's the MES mod that's doing the spawning of stuff, there's the brain that stopped functioning, there's the spawn vehicle mod, there's the G menu construction controlling mod. And I'm going to make maybe a really simple jetpack nerfing mod so that you can have a barely functional jetpack in space. But to be honest, I think I'm going to make the scenario just no jetpack. I was debating on that one. I'm still not sure where I'm falling on that decision. Yes, the brain slug is slowly starving. I lack the necessary waves for them to function. Yeah, I mean, you could do it suitless as well. Suitless would work with this, because the only place that the spawn rover spawns are oxygen-rich planets. And the spawn rover now offers Triton as an option. 2. I fixed that. I'm going to be able to get around this connector without pushing it out of the way with the wheels. Yes, good. Yeah, I definitely should have. I should have some method to flip it out of the way. Alright, let's offload the rest of this stuff. This is why I want to have the gantry crane and a, whatchamacallit, and a forklift, because offloading with the crane is so much slower than being able to do it with a vehicle that's designed for simpler control. Probably just... Oh, I've got 2 more engines here. Sweet. I have a way of... Good. I thought I had engines somewhere. I don't think I can drag any of this off. I think I'm going to have to do it all with the crane. There's only one bit that I could drag, and that's this bit. Doobie-doo. Hey, thanks, Noobtastic. Thank you for the tier 2 sub for 21 months. There's no point offering me blueprints because there's no projectors in this, and I have to build everything from the components found. And I've made a pretty successful forklift in the past with Manny. I reckon I've learned a few things since making it that I could probably make something better, hopefully. Alright, let's get on the crane and move these bits off the back. Oh, that is not the key I meant to press. And thanks True Dragon. Thanks for the Prime sub. Yeah, the forklift on Mars, wasn't that one of the Escape from Mars forklifts? Yeah, I could probably build something like Manny. I will, I think, do that after I get this stuff off the trailer, though. So my order of planning right now is... get this stuff off the trailer. Go check out the thing that I've spotted in the distance. Collect whatever's to be collected there. Come back. And then do some... Then I think it's time to build a forklift and or simple crane for moving things around and getting them off the trailer and stuff. Alright, so this is going to be row 5, I think. Yep, row 5. That one. Survival kit off. Probably shouldn't drop that from quite so high up, but it's fine. It's totally not a problem. Alright, let's grab this. Because I do want to make that gantry crane, and I do want to make the forklift. So I think having both things will be potentially quite useful. So my plan for the gantry crane is to simulate rails out of pistons, and might actually let you guys decide which one I do first. Whether you want me to try and work on a gantry crane first or work on the forklift first. Because I'm going to do both, it's just which one to do first. Can you ever switch on the rotor lock for the swingy cab? I suppose. Oh, actually, what I was going to do was dampen it a bit more first. See if that makes enough of a difference. No, braking torque. Let's put this up to 400. 4 times as much braking torque. That might be enough. Oh. Yep, can't reach it from there. Thanks, Asdras Engerman. Thanks for a year. Thank you very much. That. I'll grab these engines first. And 6, and unlock. I'm not. The platform is intentionally awkward and weird. It's just one of those things I was having some fun with. I might leave my stack of tanks, although actually I don't need to, do I? Because they're something I can move by hand, so I can move them. Oh, I'm loving my landing gear being matched to my hotbar positions. So easy to not mess them up. Which means if I mess them up, it's even more embarrassing. Unlock. Cool. There you go. Yes, foreshadowing indeed. Yeah, I've been thinking about gantry cranes for a while, and how I might design something like one. And the reason I'm going with the piston idea is that I think it's important on a gantry crane to have it so it's actually properly hooked up to the base to make it maximally useful. And the only way I thought of being able to have it hooked up to the base without the use of a hinge chain to provide that hookup, which a hinge chain will create a whole lot of extra weird forces on it and cause problems. The only way to do that is with a piston, because the hinge chain idea be weird and would be very difficult to balance. So these batteries are not complete. I need power cells to finish them. Also, batteries that are isolated like that will maintain charge, even in their unbuilt state. It's only tanks that lose their supplies. Oops. Clunk. Are hinge chains laggy for servers? Yes. Yes, they are. Very much so. Thanks, Rafa. Thank you for 32 months. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a pity Space Engineers doesn't have more dilapidated or basic material looking stuff. I get, like, it makes sense why they don't with the materials we build from being steel plate, but it would be nice to have the option in a mod set like this for come on brain, for having like stone or wood buildings. But I think within the Space Engineers way of things, I think it'd be nice just to have a dilapidated concrete texture that wasn't requiring the use of heavy armor. That'd be real nice. Oh yeah, turbine ownership. To deal with that too at some point. So I've got to take control of the one that's up there. I can easily climb up there. How many steel plates do I have? 12. 12 is not enough. Before I get a turret. I shouldn't need to put a turret on this base. With how I've set things up in the save, I shouldn't need one. Watching you play makes me want to play, but I never know what to do. Yeah, that's forever a problem in a creative game, is knowing what you want to do next. And coming up with things that are fun that you want to do next. It's something I've always been pretty good at, fortunately. Like I've never been one to have a lot of struggle in coming up with what weird thing to try and do next. There we go. Turbine owned. But I think that probably, for me, comes from spending a lot of time playing with Lego on my own and thinking of things to do with it. So, yeah. Growing up, just mucking around with that sort of thing was something I spent a lot of time doing. And has trained me well for playing Space Engineers endlessly. Alright, we're offloaded. Have I got... I think I might have left this cargo full though. Yes. How much do I want to try and offload? Because I kind of want to offload it into here, not into the other thing, which is already full anyway. I do have the new cargo container on there, which is fairly empty, so probably okay to drive off as it is. That'll do. That's enough. I just won't go too far. Oh, did I give you a fright, did I, Shadow? With the gunshot? I didn't even think about it. I was just like, yep, that's how I'm going to have to get rid of this thing. Let's shoot it. Now, of course, I set off in the rain. I think it was this... Yeah, it's this way. Good, I can't see it. In this save, would steel plate be cheaper than interior plate? Possibly. Possibly, because you might get more of it. Yeah, Silent Phoenix, the way you set up things with the park script allows you to do any combination of actions in terms of one action per... Well, you can do kind of any combination of movement with pistons, rotors, or hinges with each key press. Because you just set up in the custom data for that thing which ways you want it to move. So if you wanted two pistons moving but holding the thing that they're holding in a static position as they move, they just have to move in opposite directions at the same time. Yeah, there might be too much braking on the platform. Here we go. Here's the new build. That some of you will already be familiar with. Alright. Got a bit of stuff around here too. What's on the ground there? Oh. Oh! Oh! All the new builds. Excellent. Sweet. Alright. Now, I know a few things about this build, but for the sake of the fun, let's find out what's going on. Well, I mean, there were two major builds I added on Wednesday. There's the tower crane, and there's this excavator. And conveniently, you might notice something interesting about the smokestack on this excavator. That is a hydrogen thruster. Yes. Good, 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 good. Alrighty. I can't tell whether that's a cargo container or a basic assembly. We should climb up. And 3 years later... yeah, do predictions on which variant of the crane it is. Once people learn what they are, we could possibly do that. Looks like the ladder's intact the whole way up, which is nice. Okay. Let's hack into this thing. Sensor goes off, nothing happens. Good. Oh, excellent. Good. I did set this up correctly. I now have an elite grinder. I also don't know how to do anything here right now. How am I going to get this down? Huh. Yeah, so I can latch onto the bottom of stuff with my crane, but then how do I actually release the thing? I'm going to have to shoot out the connection. So I don't have any means to get up there and grind it. Yeah, I don't think my crane's strong enough to hold the size of this crane. I don't think my truck crane can hold this tower crane. Hinge, piston, mag plate attached to central tower. Split it, lay it down. Yeah, I guess maybe that could work. Lord Rictus, the Rust Mechanics mod would break this. Because it would destroy the stuff you're trying to find. And it would destroy the stuff before you've managed to connect it to something. So yeah, it's not a... I would consider it a mostly incompatible mod with this playstyle. Alright, I'm gonna grab the thing that's on the end there because I don't know what it is. I'm gonna shoot it free, and then I'm gonna just topple the crane and hope that the thing that I'm targeting, which I'm guessing is the battery, will survive. No, no, do not want to despawn. Thing. Okay, let's go up. Let's go up. Yeah, I should have some sort of cherry picker bucket attachment at some stage. If I need to do something like this more often. Ooh. Unlocked. Here goes. Okay, it's free. Who wake Shadow again? Probably. I gave some warning this time. I said, here goes. That counts as warning, right? Hey, thanks, Bravo Kilo. Thanks for 22 months. Doo-doo-doo, down we go. I think this might be the container variant. Where's that flopped? And there we go. 6. Ready to lock. Unlock. Then we can have some fun. Because that's what we're here for, right? I don't need to do the things sensibly. What I need to do is cut down this crane and see what happens. See if I can get any good things out of it after chopping it down. Which means getting my truck clear. Well, yes, never. I'm going to sort of get the battery, but I'm going to bring it down to the ground first. If I get lucky and the battery survives, then I'll keep it. Because I've got those 3 big batteries at base, I'm not sure I really need a whole lot more just now, so I'm not... Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. There's some important things I should get before I chop this thing down. There's some stuff here that I want. let's go have a look. First of all, get rid of you. Character tools. Fancy grinder. Take that. Oh, this is going to be so good for collecting steel plate. So good. For a second I thought I was going to get that squished by the ramp. Nope. Nope. Ah. Can I just put that up there? Yes. That's better. That works much better. Do. One. There we go, one thing done. Oh yeah, this is going to be so much better for cleaning stuff up. You forget when you're using basic grinders for a while just how much better the Elite is, and why the Elite kind of, for a lot of situations, negates the use of grid grinders and grid welders. It's almost too good. Okay, there's something in the grass here that is still there. Oh well. I cleaned up all the grids in the save before playing today, so that we could have a fresh start, and I freshly spawned in a whole bunch of stuff as well. That's why we saw something right near base that was the original thing. I didn't control what spawned, I just did it random. And I got lucky. Nothing. Okay, that's all the good stuff from that. I think I'll get rid of that. I don't need these engines. And those tanks are empty, so we won't worry about them. I just want that thruster.
Inventory full.
Yeah, Tommaso. I am literally standing within spitting distance of 2 of the new grids. Yep, some of your vehicles have made it in, Rush. I got through all of the civilian-looking vehicles that were... well, most of them. Oh, there might have been a few that I didn't quite get to, but the majority of the submitted vehicles I did get to. The ones that fitted the scale that I've been working at. Access denied. Why? Oh, the hinges. There we go. Should fix that. Yay. Oh god, I can pick this up. I was really worried I wasn't going to be able to pick this up. Ow! Yeah, Jaxa did. The tank car was a bit much. So in general, I haven't been taking submissions for this, but there was a brief bit where I wanted a few extra vehicles, where I opened up submissions just for a few days, and then I closed them after I had enough, or what I felt was enough. But no, I'm not doing the ACS thing with this, because ultimately what happens is I get too many submissions and I don't actually get to any of them. And then people are disappointed because their stuff doesn't make it in, and it's then kind of doesn't add much point to having the submissions there. I think that's all I want from this. Let's see what's in all these dumpsters. I think I remember putting the occasional rare good thing in them. Those. Thanks, floppy disk. Thanks for 2 months. Thank you, Arctic Arcanum, for the 1500 bits. Congrats on becoming an exciting and scary time. Yes. Indeed. Lucky for him, he's pretty dang cute, so it's hard to... it's hard to walk away. Alright, that looks like all the small grid stuff collected. Let's go see if there's anything in these buildings. Nothing in that one. A few steel plates I can climb up. Nothing. What? What? I feel robbed. I feel very robbed. Oh, finally, something in one of them. Thanks, Pagan Pride. Thanks for the Prime sub. What do I need for that? Let's just see if the stuff comes out. Medkits. That's that building cleared. Let's go check this one. Thanks, Arctic. Yeah, I don't blame anyone for watching the if they can't catch the live, watching the VODs on YouTube. Substantially fewer ads, so I can actually control them myself. Ready? Last one. Getting a bit of ammo, so hopefully I do find that basic assembler and test to make sure that my changes to it worked. Because it should be able to do some things. We'll find out if I have messed that up or not when I eventually find one of them. Advanced grinder. Ooh, almost fell off there. That might have hurt. Okay, looting done. Let's move away from the crane, and then down she comes. Oh yeah, I should have pinked him. I can pink it after I've toppled it. He wants to take a quick screenshot. 1 second. Don't mind me while I do a thing. Snap. Right. Chop, chop, chop. So I kind of want it to topple forward. Am I going to manage to do that? I don't know that I'm going to have much control over it. These neon tube bits. Then if I get rid of this bit first, then the ladder. that bit. And if I get rid of this one, this one, and this one, then chop this out, hopefully it'll topple that way. There you go. Here goes. 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay, that didn't work. There was too much mass. It destroyed it anyway. Oof. Did the battery got damaged, but it did not get destroyed. I'll count that as a win. We lost... Oh, we only lost 6 power cells. That's not bad. We just lose more? Nope. Sweet. Thanks, Firestruck. Yeah, I should have yelled timber. Timber!
Inventory full.
That was successful. I'm gonna go pick up that battery. Once I complete the long walk back to my truck. Doo-doo. Seeing... Oh! There's another cluster of buildings just over there. And another one just over in the distance there. Wow, okay. Oh no. Oh no, Splitsy done something dumb. Oh, bugger. Ah, nuts. I just realized what I've done. I have accidentally, sorta, kinda, maybe... You could argue it would be cheating, but it wasn't really, because I didn't really mean to do it. So, what I've done that's really dumb is when I'm testing new spawns, I make it so they're the only thing that spawns. So right now, the only thing that's going to spawn are these little clusters of dilapidated buildings and their cranes and excavator. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to pick up this battery, I'm going to head back to base, I'm going to delete all the grids that aren't mine, and then I'm going to fix that, and we'll reload. Oops. Oopsie. Yeah, that was... Oops. It's like, why is it all these ones? And then I remembered what I was doing last night, and it all made sense. Place. There we go. That'll be row 5. Locked. I'd only feel bad about this if I'd gotten the basic assembler from this, but I didn't, so I don't. Okay, let's head back home. And let's put the hinge up before someone freaks out. Oh, yeah. I need a sensor on my like on or near my cockpit, that forces the hinge up. Oh, maybe forces it down and up, so it's always down when I get out and always up when I get back in. Huh. That could work. Well, yeah, when we get the event controller, I can do better stuff with it, but for now, it would have to be a sensor. Auto parking brakes. That... I think that's taking it a step too far, Shadow. I think we all know that I enjoy having my rover run away from me from time to time and have to chase. Alrighty, let's have a quick look through the entity list and clear out the things. Doop. Doop. There you go, Jax. Some of your stuff is in here. Let's get rid of the dumpsters, because I know I don't have any of them at home. Dumpster excavator. Office. I think I can get rid of all the offices. I don't think any of my grids at home are named that. So many things. Oh, poop. Nope. Those are fine. Shed 22, that's one of mine. Cranes can all go. Broken jalopies at base. Get rid of that. Don't get rid of that. Do not get rid of the home hangar. And clean up as much of this as I can. That's probably enough. The rest of this stuff I can just clean up another time. Alright. So now we save. We open VLC. That is not what I want. BSC. Ah, go away. And I go to build ideas and I copy that. Triggers. Bit. There we go. Done. Saved. Reload. And we'll be sorted. Does the bobblehead work? It should be doing work. It should be working. Part of me wants to put it on a rotor next time because I think I can make it work better on a... maybe even a pair of rotors. I want to fiddle with it. So it doesn't quite work as well as I wanted it to. It's not as obvious that it's bobbling. So I'll have to come up with a better design. Now that we're back, let's just do a quick little bit of this. There we go, that'll do. I'm happy with Windows 11, and because I've got an Alder Lake processor, Windows 11 is the only right option for someone who plays games. Because you do not want to be dealing with the Windows 10 scheduler. Grab the batteries, and I guess now is time for me to do a poll. Let's grab the Twitch thing on this one. Yeah, it's annoying that the plushie needs something to sit on, because otherwise it doesn't have enough mass to actually move the hinge or rotor. And that's why I think the rotor might look better, because if I use a rotor... Let me just go back to where I was looking at it. Instead of the angle being at the base here, I think I should be able to put it at the... With a rotor, I'd be able to attach the rotor to where the cylindrical column is, and then put a weight below, so it'll be swinging through. So it'll actually not be the bubble, it'll not be the plushie providing the extra mass, but the mass would be below, which means it'll, I think, swing in a more interesting way. Fleshcrafter, that wasn't a cleanup for performance sake, that was a cleanup for I spawned in a whole bunch of stuff that I shouldn't have had. So, that was me just getting rid of the stuff that I shouldn't, that I feel like I don't want to have an excess of and make my life too different to how the mod's intended to be played. Since this is a test play, I kind of want to play it as it's meant to be played. Or as I imagine it to be played. Yeah, it's all about the why, I guess. Okay. Man, I love how stable this truck is. That I can dangle a battery out this far and I'm still okay. Thanks. Unlock. It's out of the way. Oh, what the? What just happened there? That was weird. A small landing mag plate sort of thing have the mass for a plushy hinge? The trouble is, I mean, I guess maybe? Actually, I was just about to say the trouble is if I used a mag plate, I can't stick the plushie on top, but I actually could, couldn't I? I could drop the plushie or drop multiple plushies onto a mag plate that's in place of that cylindrical column. We'll have to test that. It could be kind of fun to have multiple of them. And now there's a part of me that wants to make plushie bombs or slash plushie chaff that you drop from a fighter to distract. Yeah, I'm pretty sure ownership is right for all the scraps I've collected. Pretty sure. Alright, so, quick poll. New poll. Vehicle next. Now remember, it's just what's next. I'm doing both. It's just which one do you think I should do first? Which one do you think is going to be more useful? Because I can't really decide. Gantry, crane, forklift. Alright. So, one thing I do need to figure out is how I'm going to put a connector over here. Because I kind of want some sort of connection system over here that I can hook up to properly. There's a part of me that wants it almost to come out of the floor. Deploy the Capac chaff. Plushies rain down. Yep. Just trying to look around for where I might, like how I might do a connector. Annoyingly, I've put the cargo all over this side, yet my connector is on the other side of the truck. But with how I've arranged the truck now, I could put a connector on both sides. Put another... In fact, I probably should, shouldn't I? Give me a bit of flexibility. Likely be beneficial at some point. Chaff packs. I mean, yeah, that works on multiple levels. No further plans for roof theft. I find that roof theft tends to be less planned and more serendipitous. That was a much more even split than I expected. Forklift 67% to the Gantry Cranes 33. Thanks, Gralfs. Thanks so much for the 5 gift subs. I can't use artificial mass blocks for anything in this because I can't make them. And I have definitely not put any artificial mass blocks anywhere in the wrecks that are around the place. Yeah, I will do it this way. Ooh. No, that's a bad place to put that. I was kind of thinking, should I put a battery on the side of this? From the side of the connector back to here. Actually, it might not be a too bad spot for it. Huh. I'm gonna try. Yeah, the forklift does have more immediate uses. You guys are right. So, if we're going to make a forklift, I need to pick a battery first. Have I got any batteries around on this side? It doesn't look like it. They must be back over in the other bit of the base. Okay. I've got one... This one needs 5 cells, this one needs 6 cells. Let's get rid of these lockers that don't have anything in them. That one tiny battery. Do I have enough cells to repair one of them? I probably should have checked that first. Got 2 power cells in here. I've got 5 in here. Good, I can. Let's repair one of these. Use the small one, work fast. Can't drag these at all, can I? I'm gonna have to push it. Alright, so forklift design. I want something that's going to have a little option of tilt to it. And potentially have the front wheels. I kind of don't want anything that's... I don't want to pick up anything that's bigger than a single large grid block. Is, I think, one of the defining things I should say about it. I might use a medium cargo container like this full of scrap as ballast. Because I am going to need some sort of ballast for it. Because I don't have the ability to place down things like batteries to add extra mass. I'm not going to use 1x1 wheels, no. 1x1 wheels are straight up terrible. They're just awful. So step one is lift this off the ground so that I can add some wheels and start working out a bit of a pattern. Bit of a way it's going to be deployed. If I go this, I should have enough freedom to place it where I want it. I move this a bit further out of the way. Get out of here, so I'll go and get. No. Can't place it. I don't have a jetpack. Curses. Oh, don't tip, please. Thank you. Last time I saw you use 1x1 wheels was the train below the solar axe. Yeah. Didn't I build the silly cart for getting around my base out of 1x1s, or did I use 3x3s? I think I used 1x1s on those. That too. Okay. Oops. Top piston part. There we go. Zach, the Manny is 100% really a forklift. I'm not sure why you don't think it's a forklift. Has forks, and they lift. Tis forklift. That money works great. It functioned exactly what I've designed it for, which was to be able to get to retrieve the things from space. Alright, so let's get a bit more steel plate so I can lay this out. What I'm thinking for this is if I use... I need something fairly compact, but I also need a heavy enough butt on it so that it has a way of keeping stable. Because I need to be able to keep it stable when it picks up something like a large grid battery, which is probably going to be one of the heaviest things that I need to pick up. Go with a helm. Forklift. So what I was thinking was maybe if I can put 3x3 wheels like this, it'd give me enough clearance to get around a battery. But probably want to get it one block further apart, at least at the front. Also, right now, regret the angle that this thing's under. So that's really annoying. Fix. Like this. Should work, I think. Yay! Canada, I'm not sure how you think I'm going to put a battery on the piston on the rear when I can't build batteries. Oh no! My grinder went on! No! My mouse double clicked when I didn't want it to. I'm like, oh. Oh. Pick it all up again. Poop. Ugh. Yeah, I couldn't remember what the safe grinding option control was. Because I've never used it. Oh, hang on. Let's do this a smarter way. Hinge. Piston. Move the hinge up. It's not the expected outcome. Still works though. Turn off auto lock. Bring the hinge back through again. Perfect. There we go. Nothing ever happened. This never went wrong. I totally didn't have to undo my own silly grinding. Okay. Wheel on left. Wheel on right. And we'll bring this back. Let's go higher. I think that's probably as big as I want to risk going, because any bigger than that, I'm probably going to struggle to fit it anywhere. Obviously the wheels are not going to be placed because I still didn't set this up well enough to lift it out of the way as much as I needed to, which is really annoying. That's fine. So that was kind of what I was thinking for the wheelbase. That's plenty wide enough that I can drive up to stuff. The narrow wheelbase at the back will be an interesting thing to deal with, but I'm going to be front wheel steering like a forklift does. Oh, no, rear wheel steering, I mean. Rear wheel steering? Yeah, rear wheel steering. So hopefully it'll work. Shouldn't the battery go all the way at the back and flat? Maybe, but what I was actually going to do was put this at the back and flat. This at the back. Because I can load it up with scrap and stuff that's heavy. Man, it'll be heavier than a battery. Do. Shouldn't need to do anything too fancy to get this to lift up enough for those wheels. Get the landing gear placed on the piston. Hello? Hello? I can't. No. Why? Why are you being like this? Isn't helpful. Oh, hold on. No. Wow, what is up with this? This is why I'm tempted to create a quick jetpack doesn't work on planets mod for allowing you to be able to turn around. Because obviously being able to roll yourself and reach stuff that's near the ground is really quite helpful. Let's lift. It's interesting. This is one of the rare situations where the the original vanilla landing gear is really quite handy. Okay. Please you. Because it gets you that little bit of extra reach. Alright, so if I get a merge block on top of this, then have that merge to... Let's just get rid of the helm for a second. Have that merge block to here. I can pick this up and manage to wrangle it into position. No, my other merge block's in the wrong spot. It's one block too low. Now I should just be able to lock that in place, and then I'll stick a connector on the back, which will be how this thing charges up. And transfer any of the heavy stuff. Like I can fill this with steel plate, I can fill this with scrap, whatever. And that's going to be a really effective counterweight that I can control the mass of and adjust if I really need to. Hopefully I won't need to, and I can just put a chunk of stuff in it and it'll be fine. Thanks, Duke. Alright. Now to figure out the lifting mechanism. That's obviously the other bit of this thing. No point having any of this if I can't actually pick something up. Extra bits and pieces in just to make sure it doesn't quickly fall apart when I grind out something by accident. Again. My first test is going to be moving that battery right there over to the other bit of the base. I think. Grab all the bits. Hopefully I have the bits over here and I don't have to run over to the other side. I think I will. Have we got the thruster hiding in the grass? Yep, that's something that needs to be moved. But I don't think the forklift's going to be great for moving the thruster. I wonder, I'm not sure how I can modify it to make that possible. Maybe once I've got the design down, we can look at what I can do to tweak it and improve it. Yeah, it is kind of a mini Manny, which to me makes sense because I feel like the Manny's design was fairly solid for a forklift. Like, it achieved what it was supposed to. It was balanced. It was able to carry a heavy load. Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it sort of thing, I guess. Yeah, we're going to get rid of those bits that look like concrete. Fortunately, this shouldn't be picking up anything as heavy as what I designed the Manny build to do. Alright. So, what I probably want to do is build a little bit of a post to have the pistons mounted to. But I'm going to mount them on a pair of hinges. So they can tilt. Although I kind of want to make this tilt backwards as well so that the load can be lifted through tilt that goes over the cabin, but the cabin's a bit big. So I'll not really be able to do that. For the test design, or at least for the initial phase, I think what I'm going to do is just have a single hinge piston landing gear contraption. I can double it up later once I'm happy that the contraption works as intended. Your visibility too. Yeah, that's fair. Although, I think my visibility is always going to be in third person, to be disappointingly honest. Gyros on override are awkward things. So, yes, they can override some of the mass, for like some of the force from the mass around the center of gravity, but they'll also stop you from turning because they'll resist that movement too.
Energy.
They don't just resist one axis; they resist multiple, and perhaps provide force on only one axis. But they'll resist movement on any that are set to 0, which creates an issue when you're trying to have something that's got wheels steering, because it will resist the wheels doing any steering. Which is obviously less than optimal. What is an excavator doing with a hydrogen thruster anyway? It was just a way to have a little hidden hydrogen thruster without me having to come up with weird, dilapidated excuses for them. I asked in chat at the time that I was thinking about it, and people were very much on board with me adding hidden things like that are done for style, as in because it looks the part, rather than just having the blocks be their use. So I put it on the excavator to make it look like an exhaust pipe. Thanks, Heathen. So yeah, I was torn on it at the time, but I think ultimately it's okay. Alright. Then I was just thinking of putting a mag lock straight on that. That should be something I can fairly easily control. Especially if I find another programmable block and control it with a park script. I'm not going to be able to do initially. But yeah, it became quite difficult to come up to contrive reasons for finding hydrogen thrusters around the place. And then I started messing around with some ideas about what other things they might look like. And they can kind of look a bit like a fuel tank if I need them to. If I place two with their thruster bells end to end. So once that started happening, then it was like, well, you know what? Maybe it is okay to do some of these a bit differently. Alright. What? I don't know. Build that completely. I did not. It's like, why isn't the wheel turning? There we go. Okay, so wheels turning. Then I need to set up some controls on the hotbar. So, first control is changing the mag plate to not have auto lock. Let's grab pistons, forks, even though there's just a single fork. I think I'll have extend, retract, and maybe toggle it on off. And I might just leave the hinges as is, and we'll see how much I end up actually needing to control them. Switch lock. Alright. Cool. Whoa, 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 too much speed. Okay. Need to turn down those wheels. There is too much on them. Hello, Charlie. Your head is very heavy on my arm. Speed limit 40. Maybe 60. Power. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that for now. Hey, dead dude, you're in the way. I'm trying to pick up that little battery first. Yeah, and I also would like to have handbrake on off. Stand. Alright, we're down. Ready to lock. Retract. We're gonna need some lights. Definitely gonna need some lights. Real hard to see. Let's go. Thanks, Clone the Shapes. Thanks for the Prime sub. No, I'm not going to want to lift high with the forklift, no. This is more for moving around stuff on the ground to bring it in range of the crane to do the high lifts. What I could easily do, though, is replace these stacks with pistons as well, and then I can go high. And I probably will do that. I'm aware that, for me, I find it easier to get the function of something like this right if I do it piecemeal. So I like to try and get something that does most of the job and then add to it as I go along. Okay. First off, let's see if there's any scrap in any of these. Not really. I must have thrown it out. Alright. Don't have any use for bottles, so I can chuck them in here too. Let's throw those in. Bottle in. Bottle in. Grinders I don't need. Let's take those out, because those are actually valuable. Something. It's sitting a bit heavier at the rear now, at least. Which is helpful when that's how I steer. Drive over the thruster. Yeah, poor dead now very squished guy. Lift it up higher. Then we can drop this off. And battery moved. Which was arguably more efficient than the crane. Probably. Ooh, that was a bit tippy. I mean, yeah, I could fill this up with gravel as well. That would be valid. But I don't think I need to. Let's see if I can pick up this thruster. Since that was the close to the ground thing that I was unsure about. I'm not game to pick up the large grid battery yet, but hopefully... But once I've filled up the cargo container with some more steel plate, I think I'll give it a crack and see if I end up tipping forward straight away. Okay, got it. Perfect. Just go pop this over this side. Because that side's where I've been putting all the big blocks, so I should probably be putting small stuff over here and loose stuff somewhere where I'm not planning on building everything. Yeah, plate is easily the most available thing. I decided, after a few people suggested it, that maybe I shouldn't worry about how much steel plate I was providing players, because ultimately you're going to need something to fill out the world. And so a lot of the buildings have a fairly generous amount of steel plate in them. Because it gets to a point where if you're restricting steel plate, you're just restricting too much. It means the stuff people find just isn't that interesting to find. Survival kits cannot process anything to anything useful. And I can't remember what state the basic assembler and assembler are in, because it's been a while since I messed with them. That's one of the things I need to finesse and fix. I actually prefer the forklift to not have four-wheel steering. I find it easier to get into the right position if you've got two-wheel steering only. And rear-wheel steering. Which is, I think, potentially why they do normally have just rear-wheel steering. Would one piston full extended touch the ground? No. Not at the height that I built this up to. No. That's all I need to move with the forklift over here. Also because it would put too much strain on the front wheels if they're steering as well. Yeah, fair enough. Having a steering mechanism moving with all that mass applied on it. Okay, so over here, what have I got? I've got two large grid batteries that need to be locked down. And then I've got a survival kit that should probably get locked down to the base via a hinge or rotor, so that I've got a survival kit back on base. And that's kind of it. I need to build a connector system for the truck to hook up to. I've dumped a whole bunch of stuff in the way of being able to do that easily. Let's go throw these over the other side. The dead body has a weird collider, making removing it odd. I'd need to remove the block underneath it as well. So yeah, the collider for the dead body is tricky. Let's put the thrusters together. The goal of this thing is to get to space, so let's organize what we've got. Wouldn't it be better to have the batteries over in the other base, since they're not a processing block? Arguably, yeah. I wouldn't mind having a battery in both, and since I've not really got any space to connect anything to here, I was just going to shove the two of them on these 2 blocks. But yeah, arguably. Just move these tanks out of the way. I got to move some of this stuff. I put this stuff in a really dumb spot when I offloaded it. I'm doing that double handling thing that whenever I used to help my dad doing stuff around the house was something he would do, and it would annoy me no end. He'd like, oh, I'm just going to move this here. I'm like, but you're going to need to move that again in a minute. Why shouldn't we just move it all the way? And he's like, no. And now I'm doing it. I'm that guy. Hey, Nuki World. Thanks for 27 months. Space Lego is going well. In fact, with the salvage stuff, it really does feel like Space Lego. Because I'm not making the parts, I'm finding the parts, and I'm stitching them together best I can. You out of the way as well. Cargo can go down here. Try and bunch them up a bit. I got tanks, I got little batteries, I got the survival kit, I got thrusters. I should probably figure out, at some point I need to think about a system for emptying these tanks off. So I can bleed them dry into the tank on the base. So I gotta move. That's mostly it. I should be able to use the crane now to move the last pieces, move that cargo container and stuff into place. And pop one of those batteries down, then we're good. Yeah, it would be nice to have the small connectors already for emptying them. Definitely. Alright, so this container is the first thing to move. Get up to these other ones. The reason I needed to move everything is I need to put a connector over here, which means I need space to actually put it down. And all this stuff is in the way. I'm going to move the forklift out of the way. Or am I going to use the forklift? Maybe I use the forklift. Yes. Yes. Can I move these out of the way enough to make that possible? You a bit more. Come on. Whee. You're too heavy. Push you? Just. Need a bin to put my pieces in. Yeah, I need Lego sorting bins. Okay. Right. Cargo container should be able to fit in there now. Then I can get the battery in. Yeah, potentially a down-facing rotor could be useful just for that last little bit of turn for stuff to get into position, you're right. wheels are still way too twitchy. That's better. That feels a lot nicer. That should be fairly easy to merge block down. I hope. No. Oh. Oh no, no, no. One like that. The reason not to connect the tanks now is that I can move them by hand if I keep them as an individual piece. If I connected them all up to try and make it so I can drain them all off in one go later, that actually makes it harder, because then I have to use a crane or the forklift to move them. I'm left without any alternative. So I kind of... I guess there's part of me that will eventually want to fix them, but for now until I've got a system that I think can work, I'm just going to leave it as is. Because they're fairly easy to move. And also I don't know how many of them I'm going to need for the eventual get to spaceship. There we go. Just a little bit of nudging. That always works. Mostly. And get rid of this. Part of me really wants to repair this, but I don't have the power cells for it. Might... Now that that's been mentioned that I should have the batteries in the other part of the base, I'm thinking I should put the batteries in the other part of the base. Which is really annoying. So I'm quite happy with bringing them over here to begin with. Oh, the cargo container not being upright will not annoy me ever. It just really doesn't bother me. Yeah, I gotta find hydrogen engines, gotta find loot for those power cells. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of space so that I can put extra cargo containers down if I want to. So I'm just going to move this a few blocks down. Then we're going to figure out a connector system to put the truck onto, so I can offload all of its goodies, and then we can go out hunting for some stuff. Get those merge blocks. Might try and push this over to the other side of the other side of this hangar with the other small grid stuff. It's actually quite easy to push. Battery power cells disintegrate when you grind them down. They turn into scrap. And that was something I wanted to leave because it makes power cells still behave as per vanilla. And I think it's kind of a nice touch. I know there are people who would not want it that way, but that's how I like it. Thus, space curling was invented. Yes. This is working out alright. Forklift works. I definitely will be improving its mechanism over time. I haven't built many forklifts, so it's one of those things that I haven't got like a blueprint in my head of how to make something that works pretty well. So I feel like I'm starting a bit from scratch with it. Which is kind of fun. Okay. 5 power cells and that's good to go. Don't need to worry about any of that stuff for now. I'll just move this out of the way. I can then think about how I'm going to do this connector setup. At least the, for the moment, connector setup. Because obviously, if I collect more of these large grid small cargo containers, I'm probably going to continue to stack them together like this, which means I'm going to probably need to remove my connector mechanism more than once. Unless... I don't want to push it too far out, because I don't want it to get in the way of the gantry crane. Ooh, unless I go for a connector set up for the crane that's on the outside, so I hook up on the outside. Will that get annoying? Hmm. So obviously I'm going to want to offload the crane, or like offload the trailer with the gantry crane, but then I should probably be moving the truck out of the way after that. Maybe I should put it on the outside. I'm going to do it for now. Yeah, indeed. Especially if I start building something in there, I'm really not going to want to have that be where it gets locked down. We go maybe to there, and then I'll do the double hinge setup, and then we can sidle up alongside it and lock down. Yeah, I'm not sure the roof really provides any meaningful protection. It provides some protection. I don't think it's meaningful protection, though. I'm going to grind that out. We're going to go to small grid. Hey, network. Yeah, the roof needs extensions and a whole bunch of things to it. That may eventually get done, or may not. I don't know. Depends how long I end up taking to get the thing for space built. What is a polite way to say, not a chance would that ever happen to did I name my child Capac? Do I want him to have a terrible life of things constantly exploding around him? Don't think so. Yeah, Tex. Thanks. I think that covers it adequately. Yeah. All right. So I'll put the connector on here, and then I'm going to need a button to move this out of the way. At the very least. Is Capac's ship always on fire? Yes. Does it matter which series we're talking about? No. A sensor won't work. Or at least I can't think of a way to make a sensor work because the truck's going to be there and it needs to move out of the way once you've disconnected. The event controller should be helpful, but I can't see a way a sensor would be helpful. I need to get in the crane first and set it back to some sort of not right in the way position. It's not what to do. Yeah. That's settled. Yeah, I think manual control of this connection mechanism to lift it up out of the way is really the only option for the moment. Oh. Because obviously once I've sidled up alongside it, to get it out of the way of the wheels, I can't imagine any sensor system that detects the right thing at the right time and doesn't just have it constantly out of the way for me, which would be annoying. I need to be able to hop out, hit a button, have it lower, and then when I want to get in the vehicle, have a button to disconnect, lift it up, and I can drive away. So, with that in mind, let's set up some buttons. Yeah. So this is going to be connector hinge 1. Oh. Then connector hinge 2. So I'm going to drop this down. I think the upper limit... Yeah, I'll drop it down first. The upper limit can be reduced to, say, 45 degrees. Same with the upper limit. Oh, I don't know which way that one's going. Same with the lower limit of this one, I think. Yeah, elemental balance. Thanks for the 100 bits. No, see, blocks on the truck are going to be in sensor range before I want this thing to drop down, because the wheels will come in sensor range, or the blocks on the truck will be if I'm driving, if the angle I've gotten slightly wrong, and so then this whole mechanism will be in the way of the wheels, which is what I'm trying to avoid in the first place. And so any sensor that's detecting the truck grid will end up having this do stuff when I don't want it to. Which is unfortunate, but I just can't think of a way around that issue. And it may be a lack of creativity on my end, but I just really can't think of a way around it. That about the right height? Let's go a little bit lower. That's about right. No, Charlie, you're not being let out. You haven't calmed down around Toby yet, so you're stuck with me. See what I mean? The wheel is very much in the way. So, we can now set up this button. And this will be truck connector. Connector, crane, truck. So button-wise, I was thinking, if I go and create a group out of those two hinges... then we go reverse. Then we grab the connector and switch lock. So that when I'm unparking the truck, I can do it from here. For now, we just lift them out of the way. I drive forward until I think I've got it lined up. Park. Lower. No, a piston is not better, because a piston requires so much space, because large grid pistons are huge. That's why I like using hinge setups like this. Nope. Okay, so I think that one's the one on the left-hand side, which means we'll put it on the left of the battery there, and then this one... yeah, is the right-hand side. Now we're locked. Yay! See you, Tingy. Thanks for the 100 bits. Have a good night. And I want you that charge. Alright, so that's charging, which means we can go and collect some stuff without running out of power again, because that was awkward. Thing I might want to do before I go out, though, is let's see if we can get this survival kit hooked up somewhere, even as a very temporary setup. Oh, don't you tip over yet. You know, I'm not ready for you to tip over. Keep sliding. Keep on sliding. Yeah. Takari, I don't like having multiple things that lock down stuff on the same control. My dislike of P as a shortcut kind of convinced me of that. So I wouldn't want both connectors to be set up on the same thing, because then when you toggle one, you toggle both, and if I've got, for some reason, something connected to the other side, even temporarily, I know I'm going to forget and it'll drop off. So when I'm thinking about connectors and parking and stuff like that, I want one control per thing, because then it makes it much less likely for things to get stuffed up. Because it happens way too often that things do get stuffed up. Thanks, Anima. My mouth don't work. Thank you, Elemental Balance. Thanks very much. Let's add a small head. Let's put the hinge lock on. Then we'll see if I can get this thing hooked up. I may even just hook it up this way. It's awkward, but it kind of looks like the height might be okay. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, thanks for the gift sub as well. Thank you very much. That and that. Yeah, I just know with how things are for me, I would almost certainly end up with dropping something off. I've been like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna pop this on the connector. Let's go back to base, drop it, blammo, lose half my truck. There we go. Alright. Well, it's hooked up to the base, so that works. Yeah, I suppose under the right circumstances, a sensor that lowers the thing when I get out of the cockpit and raises it when I get in, but then you've still got the problem of if it raises it when I get in. So I probably can't do that. Which means I still need a button setup. I'm happy with this setup. I don't mind a bit of manual control for these sorts of things from time to time. What I can do now, though, before we go and do a little bit of hunting, and then I've got a survival kit on base, I can go large cargo. We can transfer some things across. Empty out the truck a bit. Go. The forklift is not hooked up for recharge, but I'm not in a rush to do that because it has 2 days worth of power. So it's not going to run out particularly soon, and I want to probably start figuring out where the gantry crane's going to sit before I decide on where its hookup can be. Although it could actually, check that. It can just hook up to the other one now. I've got the other spot. I can use that. That'll work well enough. Could even turn the forklift off when not in use. Yes, Nev, that would probably be a smart way of doing things. To make it last even longer. You know what? Sure. Why not? Lock there. It's wonky as, but whatever. Cool. Let's go hunting. I want to go find some stuff. I really want to hopefully find the assembler, or at least find some more hydrogen thrusters so we can start putting together a bit of a ship of sorts. Switch lock. Lift up. And away we go. When I put the thing... Wait, why are some of my batteries not on recharge. Where am I getting power from? Oh, there's a special content power on this, isn't there? Yep. You go to recharge, and I'm going to rename you to small battery. Medium cargo container. There we go. That's better. Which direction shall I go? Let's go over where we found the crane. See what we find this way. No, Vox, I can't use a piston on the side of the truck because a piston won't be able to transfer the items I want because we still don't have a 3x3 small grid piston. So the truck side of things has to be all 3x3 stuff. I could have done a pair of 3x3 hinges on the truck. Oh, just for triggering a sensor. Oh, that's actually quite neat. So, have a piston on the truck that just pokes out, and it's like pressing a button, but it's triggering a sensor. I like the silliness of that. It's like, alright, I'm ready for this to work now. I'm going to press the sensor. Beep. Right, that's junk from before. I love it. I kind of want to do that now. It's my little poking hand. It's my button pressing finger. Yeah, would that count as over-engineered or under-engineered? Make sure to put a plushie on the end of the piston. Yeah, it's my thing longer. Definitely. Thanks, Malacargo. Looks like I've got maybe a pipe section up ahead. Go have a look. Or it's a pair of trees, I don't know. Might be a pair of trees. I think it's a pair of trees. How disappointing. There's a... Yeah, I guess you could use rotors with adjusting their offsets as your piston. Yeah, I don't have a drawer of assorted lengths of wire, unfortunately. I mean, I sort of do in my shed, though. I've got buckets of cables. Whoa! Okay, that was just a... Jeez. I thought that was a wreck on the ground and was just a bush. Just a bush. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to see here. Your rewards. Channel points. Manage. Okay. Fix that. There we go. Someone knew exactly what I was doing. Abandoned settlement. 3.5 Ks this way. Let's go. Oh, poop. That's down in the valley. Dang it. Alright, how are we going to get down there? This might be a way down. Thanks, Pam Nutrition. Thanks for the 500 bits. Thanks for the rust. I was looking for a mod design like this in the early times of SE. Well, I mean, to be fair, this mod design is something that we've had for a long time. It's just it was only in the form of Escape from Mars, because until Lucas made MES, there was no real way to make NPCs spawn. And then Duckroll came along and made Escape from Mars and showed us a totally different way to play Space Engineers, which is really, really fun. But kind of had limited replayability, I guess, with the way that it functions. My hope is that this way of playing with a more generic mod gives it more replayability, but still keeps a lot of the elements that were really, really fun about Escape from Mars. Economy is turned on, but I'm going to turn it off for the scenario I create for people, because I think economy... economy as it stands totally breaks this style of play. Because it's totally unbalanced, and to be able to balance it is going to be very difficult until the mod API changes come along for accessing the economy side of things. So my take on it at the moment is that economy would make this playstyle not really work. You need to have your own custom scrap dealer and things like that, like Mickey's Scrap. No, Malacargo, I do not have a Space Engineers server because Space Engineers servers are pains. I much rather create content than become a server admin. I'm going to do a test server with this mod pack, but I'm suspicious it's going to create just the same problems. I've recently done like a Valheim server for my supporters that we've played on for Age and was loads of fun. And I've got other plans for things like that in the future, but... Oh, what? Up the top, you jerk. I'm staying down here. Oh yeah, let me just do something quickly. Well, inverted commas, sleep. Yes. Is dark. No, is fine. Let's see what I can spot. Yeah, the music of Mickey's Scrap was not only loud and annoying, it also caused copyright issues for content creators. Oh, I thought I was roughly in the right direction. Finding that one that was spawned in. So, JRL, I've had people offer to run servers, but based on what happened to Draconis when I joined that, it's just not possible to run a general SE server that way, because even once I joined that, which is a more public server, and it was just me derping around in it with Capac and Kanajashi, that still broke the server. So yeah. I'm looking for some ways that might be possible, but it's not something I want to offer people. And it's not something I want to say is definitely going to be a thing when I have a very pessimistic feeling of it. Oh. Icarus might be on Tuesday. I'll see how it goes. it really depends on how well Toby's doing and what time being able to spend time with him and my other half and giving her a bit of a break when she needs it, that sort of thing. He's only 5 days old, so, well, 4 days old, depending on how you count day 0 or day 1. Oh, 53 to 47 on the sleep versus not sleep. Well, since it's only a 2-option system, yeah, still can't see anything. Thanks, Barbacoso. Thanks for the Prime sub. So yeah, Icarus, I was talking to Capac last night when we were recording Assertive Acquisitions. I was going to let him know which way I was going to do. I was either going to do... I wasn't sure whether the early morning stream time is better or whether just doing the Capac, because I probably can't yet do 6 hours uninterrupted streaming. So, yeah. I will, as I've been mentioning, like, for the next little time, just keep an eye on the Discord. I'll post there when I know when I'm going to be streaming next. And make sure you sign yourself up for the group, the Pingable group. There's nothing here. This terrain is getting worse. I don't think I want to drive around here very more. Might as well drive towards this unknown signal though. Why not? See if something turns up. But yeah, so I'm leaning towards, if it works, Capac and I doing Icarus, and I'll come back to doing... I'll do another solo thing at some other point, because I don't want to ditch that. But I told Capac if we're doing it, I'm just going to start at the time that I can start, and he has to try and show up on time. Still nothing. How have I not had a spawn yet? I've been driving for ages. Had that one that triggered up the top, but nothing. Nothing down here. Oh! Ah, I can see it. Perfect. Alright, what thing am I going to get from you? A leopard suit. And 25 interior plates. Hooray? I might take the little battery though. Tip, over! Curse you! Now tip. Yes, thank you. These have proved to be somewhat useful, so I'm going to grab it. But and switch lock. And lift up. Alright. Alright, let's go over to that hangar, see what's there. No, I haven't removed ore deposits. I've just made it so ore deposits are completely pointless because you can't find a refinery, because you can't build one. So there's no point even looking at ore deposits. I figured that was the better way of working with things, because if I didn't... yeah, if I didn't do it that way, if I removed the ores from the planets by modifying the planets, then you can't play with a modded planet. You're still going to have some issues using my starter pod on a modded planet, but in general it should work. And I preferred it that way. Yeah, less files to touch, more compatibility, exactly. Alright, what do we got here? Got some solar panels. I might go steal the cells from those. Got a dead dude, which I was going to get rid of. I was going to get rid of the dead dude. I mustn't have replaced that thing yet. And we got some good bits from this laser antenna. Yeah, this is my home variant, exactly.
Inventory full.
Yeah, I was going to do a sensor for the ramp, I just haven't yet. It is on my vague, probably not really, sort of to-do list. Doesn't look like there's much on that for me. I don't really care about an enhanced drill. Oh, actually I might bring it in case I did leave the ability to break those down. Rifle. Appears to be all there. Now I've got to climb up on the roof and get those solar cells. There's 32, and that's it. Then we paint it pink. Because I've been here. Makes it easier for cleaning stuff up later. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about getting steel plate just yet. When I decide I want to weld up the roof of the hangar that I've got, I'll do it. I'll be back in just a sec. I need to take a quick bio break. Aha! Oh no! No, something spawned while I was... No! But Takari said one, so where's this going? Abandoned settlement, 2.6 that way. Okay, let's go. Let's drive! It does look like it's in amongst some of the bad terrain, yeah. That's okay, I should be alright. Because I'm kind of travelling along the lines of them, I should only have to pass one or two of them. Oh dear. That's a bit of air. Oof. Anyone else having issues with the Steam Workshop? Do you mean today or in general? Steam. You make so much money, but you do so many things so strangely. And it was somewhere off this way. I may need to return to the whole make a GPS and mark where I'm headed thing. So I'm not spotting what arrived. It should be... Oh, what? Right behind me. I drove straight past it. Thought it was further away. It was right on the other side of this mesa from where I was before. Yeah. So we got our little fake wind turbine. And we've got a shed. What's in the shed? Ooh. Large grid cargo container. And let's steal that, I guess. Can't really turn down an opportunity to get some of them. Dexus Omega, I'm still standing up, so I guess I'll stay that way. Police. Access denied. How rude. Fine. I'll resolve it this way then.
Inventory full.
Okay, let's drive the crane up and pick that up. Yeah, I can't turn down base cargo capacity. Like, cargo capacity on my rover, maybe, but cargo capacity for the base I really shouldn't turn down at any point. Yeah, for those new to this is my G menu. It has no projectors, it has no refineries, it has no assemblers, it has no survival kits, it has no batteries, it has no reactors, lots of those functional blocks. You're going to have to find them. Thrusters, no thrusters. That's the other big one. No thrusters. Hello? I had a highlight before. There it is. There we go. It is quite similar in a number of ways to the build restrictions that I had in place for our scavenger hunt series. As that was sort of the test bed of this playstyle. Just having someone manage it externally was helpful to learn a few things about it. And it was a really fun way of playing. The truck looks interesting with the tree sticking out. Yep. Yep. It's infested with tree, yeah. Oops. Oh, poop. There we go. And then I want to do that and that. Too far. It's infested with evil. The organics keep trying to take over my truck. Thanks, Angus. It's the Diet Coke of evil, though. Yeah, probably. Now, is there enough on this that changing it to pink actually does anything? No. No, there isn't. Oh well. At least it being shiny will make it apparent. Okay. Off I go. Into the wild sandy yonder. No, Ryan, I haven't looked into the return to parked position thing for the crane script. Still haven't done that. Yeah, it is still in development, Captain Arthur, but it's something that I'm hoping to release in the next couple of weeks, because I'm pretty close to having everything in place that I want for people to be able to start mucking around with it. Yes, Dutch. Mini-Me has entered the world by the name of Toby. And he will... I could hear him in the background just before. So... I think I'm going to be looking after him for a few hours to give my partner a chance to get some sleep once this wraps up. She very generously did everything overnight so I could get some sleep. Yeah, so my mag plates with numbers beside them thing on the trailer I'm quite liking, and it lines up with my hotbar numbers. So you can kind of see, although it's hard, if I get down here, you can sort of see there's a 4 and a 3 and a 2, and then a 5 and a 6 for the back rows. No, I haven't gotten the plushie and Toby picture yet. Zuriel, the Light Echo short that we've been working on for a while is... Last time I was messing with it, I ran into some issues with After Effects, and I ran out of time before I got to fix them and re-render the entire scene. Unfortunately, the thing's rendering, even with my new PC, it renders at about 1 frame every... I think it was every, like, 5 minutes? So, for a 60 frames per second video, that's painful. I've been trying to tweak it so that I can get the quality of result I want without it taking that long, and I haven't figured out any means of doing so yet. And obviously at the moment, low on the priority list. Making sure I have a couple of streams a week and get out assertive acquisitions and maybe a video here and there is higher priority right now, because time is short. Nothing. Come on. Spawn me something. Have you picked out his suit color yet? Doesn't that depend on the suit color of Splitsy's other half? Or is that not how it works? I think you guys will be horrified. Some of you will be horrified to discover this, but I did try to teach my other half about some like first-person controls with mouse and keyboard, because she's never played games at all. And the game that I used for that was actually No Man's Sky. Because it seemed like the most passive first-person game I could come up with. Where there'd be, like, occasional interesting things to discover. How did you meet this girl if she's never played games? Wouldn't you have to be doing something social? So confusing. Aha! Abandoned settlement. 5.5 Ks. Due the direction I'm heading. That is gonna be down. Let's see how far I can get by going straight ahead and see if I can visualize it before I head down into the valley and lose my bearing. Yes, due west north. West. Minecraft Peaceful just has too many gamey elements to be able to, I think, understand the visuals initially. Because the visuals are so simplified, I think for an adult starting to learn to play games, has more difficulty than... The thing with No Man's Sky is it's literally exploration when you turn it off survival, which is why at least it's exploration until you realize that all the planets are basically the same. So it felt right as a better option for just learning the controls. Minecraft only really gets interesting when you start messing with the mechanics. Visually, it's got less going on that's interesting to explore. And I can't see the thing down there. Somewhere in that direction, but I don't know where. If I put a GPS... Pop. Let's see if I can orient myself off that. Just a bit of a test. Intrusive thought. Send it. No. The spotlight's not pointing at it. The searchlight isn't pointing at anything, unfortunately. Gotta get within a kilometre, well, really 800 metres for it to do anything. See, Portal's also not a good game for what I was trying to introduce her to. I was trying to introduce her to control systems and just focused on that. And then once you've gained the understanding of the control system, I think a game like Portal could be fun, because then it's figuring out the problems. But when the control system is your challenge, a game like Portal is pain. And snappiness only matters to someone who can recognize what snappiness actually feels like. Down or up, down or up, down or up, down. And snappiness also isn't necessarily what you want. When someone gets, like when you're at a point where you might get frustrated and with things not turning the way you want them to. Yeah, for a person who likes... If it was a person who likes cats, Stray would be a very good option as well. Yeah. I think, from what little I've seen of it. I've not obviously played it, but from what I've seen of it, a game like that is good too. I think I'm heading this way. Bet it's a small grid thing and that's why I can't see it. And I may not ever find it. No, I haven't passed it. There's nothing there. And the searchlight has not moved. Thanks, T-Cross. Or did you guys see something pop up that I missed? Like a red thing. While I was reading chat, did I miss one? There was a blip 2 kilometers when you were going down the hill. Huh, okay. Let's, oh, oh. Oh. No? My searchlight briefly spotted something. There it is. And it's a fence. No, it is a vehicle of uninteresting design and uninteresting content, I think. It is literally a piece of scrap. Of course it is. Oh, you know what? Doing it. Oh, I missed how far that was. That was like 4.3 Ks. This sort of direction. And I just got to delete that GPS top because I don't want to clutter things. There we go. Thanks, Nagabe. Thanks for the 50 bits. Don't get in there. No! Thank you. Alright, at least I've got a distance marker this time, so that'll be helpful. The crane controller's making you scared. Nah, make you sick, sure. Shouldn't scare you. I always fear it's going to hit the vehicle. I've done surprisingly well at keeping it clear without really thinking about it too much. I think I just naturally kept stuff clear of where the crane was going to go, and the crane control fits pretty much within that same window. How far am I from that now? 1 point, so that's 2 Ks, I'm halfway-ish. Come on. Where are we now? 3 Ks, still can't spot anything. How far am I from base? Oof, 27 kilometers from base. Yeah, when I'm in the crane control and things are swinging, I kind of like that it makes you feel like the crane isn't very stable just because the crane control point isn't stable. There's a part of me that enjoys that sense of instability and, oh no, something's gonna go wrong feeling that you get. And we are almost for, so another 400 meters, and then I've got to start driving around and see what I can find. Yeesh. Okay, we're not driving over that. Let's take a little detour. Nicely timed on that jump in that sentence. Yes, I thought so. Wasn't intentional, but worked out. We are at 4.37, okay. Time to travel along in an arc and hope I find something. Oh, is that a thing? That might be a thing. Might be a bush, but it might be a thing. That is a thing. It's most definitely a thing. For some reason my spotlight is not highlighting it though, which is disconcerting. It is a thing with a survival kit in it. I don't think I need another survival kit. I've got a few at home. So I'm going to grind it down and take its medical component. This does have a battery that's incomplete though. I think that's a battery anyway? Yeah, that's a battery. So I'll grab that. That's a bit of a win. Another large small grid battery never hurts until it lands on your head. Access denied. What part on this has stuff that has ownership? Oh, a hydrogen tank potentially. There we go. Now I can transfer it all to me. Tank out. Battery out. Drag it a little bit to get it clear. I'll carry this up onto the truck bed. Do. Right, now grab the crane and pick up the battery and we're good. A sound block connected to the spotlight. We didn't have anything with the event controller that could detect a target, did we? I hope we get one. Because then, yeah, you could do something like that. When the searchlight detects a target, you have an alarm play or something. Can the cockpit trigger on target lock, can it? I've honestly never used it, so something I wasn't aware of. Or I'd forgotten about at some point. Not sure which of those. Feels like something I did know at one point, but I've just never had any purpose of using it because the range of detection is so short. Searchlights can be controlled, yes. There you go. Cool. I'm actually going to wrap this stream up here. I'm going to be... I should be back on Monday for a few hours with Shadow for some more Minecraft right here on Twitch. And I'm going to aim to do Tuesday with Capac for some Icarus, which will be a later start. But as I said, keep an eye on the Discord for what's going on when, as I will post there and hopefully make it clear. I'm going to try and do some little bits and pieces on the mod as I get time to, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks it'll be out. Oh, the bubble is bubbling because it's twitching. So yeah, there's all that and plenty more to come. And I will see you then. Thanks for coming, everybody.